NMPP and APGA recalibrate ahead of Edo's governorship election, just as the federal government appeals to state governments to distribute latest set of palliatives to address food shortage nationwide. Also on the program, we will discuss the gap between campaign promises and actualities of governance. We have this and more on our program. I'm Fisaya Ogunfuyi. Welcome. The federal government is appealing to state governments to ensure effective distribution of the latest set of palliatives of 740 trucks of rice now in their possession. This plea emanated from the meeting of the Federal Executive Council on Monday as the federal government paid attention to food shortage across the country.
This Monday comes with the news of a marginal increase in inflation rate to 34.2%. The purchasing powers of majority of Nigerians are yet to increase. The hues and cries in town got here at the meeting of the highest decision makers in the land. And certainly a major concern for the government as the meeting focused on further steps to ameliorate the hardship relating to food shortages and high cost of the available ones. The federal government had earlier ordered the distribution of 20 trucks of bags of rice to each of the 36 states and the Federal Capital Territory for onward delivery to the most vulnerable Nigerians. Information and National Orientation Minister Mohammed Idris gives an update on the palliative.
And government is not saying that by this supply it is solving all the food challenges or the food problems that we have around the country. This is a necessary first step, and government will continue in that direction. Government will continue to do whatever it takes to ensure that Nigerians have enough food to eat. Of course, you also know some of the interventions that the federal government has done in the agricultural sector, boosting our own capacity to produce food, not just for our domestic consumption, but also possibly for export. And government will continue to do that.
The Martin Amiawole-led House of Assembly in Rivers State says it has stopped expenditures of Rivers State government until Governor Timilayo Fubara presents the 2024 budget before the House. This follows the 7-day ultimatum given to the governor to represent the budget.
Leader of the House, Major Jack, raised a motion informing the House of the expiration of the 7-day ultimatum given to the governor to bring back the 2024 budget before the House.
Mr. Speaker, it is time to declare a total shutdown of expenditure in the states because we do not have budget. And we don't have any report. This is our report from the committee.
After deliberation, the House voted to shut down the Rivers State Consolidated Revenue Account, preventing Governor Fubara's administration from spending any money on behalf of the state. The House put the resolution to a vote, even as the Speaker reiterates that until the Governor presents the budget before them for passage and approval, there will no longer be any expenditure whatsoever.
Those in favor of a complete shutdown on expenditure in Rivers State, going by the failure of the governor or refusal of the governor to obey the Constitution and present the 2024 appropriation bill, should indicate by raising their hands. Those for 22, against nil, abstention nil. Honorable members, by your voting therefore this morning, the Rivers State House of Assembly hereby declares a total shutdown on expenditure by the Rivers State government pursuant to Section 122 of the 1999 Constitution as altered.
It will be recalled that the Amiawole-led lawmakers had issued the order in their first sitting after a hiatus.
So NMPP now, the new Nigerian People's Party, will now be having a new logo on the election ballot papers with effect from November 16, 2024 off-season governorship elections in Ondo State. And the National Working Committee of the party has officially presented the new logo to Nigerian voters.
Logo of our party The move to change the party logo, flag, and motto took center stage after the 2023 general elections. In a post-election report, the party believed that the design and color separation of its logo made it difficult for easy identification by voters. Hence, the party lost the presidential election. The new logo, the NW says, is devoid of ambiguity and will be easy for identification no matter the size of the ballot paper.
Let me also use this medium to call on all states in independent electoral commissions, SIECs, across the country to take notice of this new development in the democratic journey of this country. All state independent electoral commissions should feature this new logo in ballot papers for local government elections in all states of the Federation.
White, which is in the center, represents peace. There is nothing in this country that is more precious than peace. We need it by all means.
Leaders of the party are convinced that the restructuring they have carried out to ensure internal party discipline will set it for victory in all future elections.
We are building our party at all levels, and it's getting stronger and stronger by the day. So we are very much encouraged. We are so happy that we have got a party today that is growing more than any other party in this country.
From the prelude to Ondo State, we go to Edo State now. And many say maintaining a healthy balance between political inclinations and sensitive governance is the key to achieving a positive relationship between those occupying political offices and the citizenry. To put into proper perspective the foregoing, we have Dr. Isaiah Osifo, governorship candidate of the APGA, that is Abuja, the All Progressives Grand Alliance, in the forthcoming election in Edo State. He joins us from his campaigns in Igara, that's in Edo North. Thank you for joining us, Dr. Osifo.
Thank you. Good afternoon, NTA.
Yeah, let's start from our conversation from last week. You are a two-time governor, two-time local government chairman of one there in Edo State. We had a discussion a little bit last week, and we were talking about your elation that eventually the local government autonomy is now cast in stone by the Apex Court.
Yes, like I said in our last discussion, I'm quite happy with the decision. The autonomy of local government is to take governance nearer to the people. Local government is the laboratory of democracy. If you get democracy right at the local government, then you get it right at all levels of government, at the state and national level. And of course, sustainable national development can only be anchored on the robust, autonomous and well-funded, well-resourceful and well-responsive local government system. So the autonomy of local government is a recipe for that political environment that's required for meaningful sustainable development in Nigeria, because all issues of governance that have to do with the basic needs of people are circled around the grassroots, which is the local government area. So giving them autonomy is not just the council functionality for the entire Nigerians to appreciate that they have government that is just at their doorstep. And that will bring about integration between government and the government, and that will bring about participation. You need to participate in democracy to have meaningful democracy, rule of law, prosperity, security, and overall development for the country, for the states, and the local government, as the case may be.
Some have said this is just one step, because there's another one in terms of who even emerges at the local government level, since the governors are still more or less the ones who appoint those who run the state independent electoral commissions. What would be your the advice at this time, and especially to continue to make sure that that tier of government functions maximally?
Yes. It is true. I wrote an article following the judgment of the Supreme Court. I wrote an article as my own reaction to the laudable judgment that will require two steps for the autonomy of local government to really be meaningful to the people of Nigeria. For Nigerians to really have the dividends of democracy coming through the autonomy, you still need two steps. First, that there has to be free and fair election at the local government level. And to achieve that, the State Electoral Commission has to be strengthened to conduct credible election. As chairman of council twice, incidentally, I don't know what to say now. It was the military that conducted my elections twice. I was council chairman. And one thing you cannot take from the military when they are not involved in partisan politics and they detach themselves from partisan constitution, they have that record of conducting a better and fairer election than the civilian government. So twice I contested. It was the military that conducted my local government elections, and the elections were really keenly contested. It was competitive. So if we can get down under the civilian regime, to strengthen the electoral commission, whether national or state, either way, you need the operators, you need conscientious person to manage this institution, to have a credible election. Until you have a credible election at the local government level, it will just be a mere paperwork that will not really realize the ultimate objective. The second step is a governor that is committed to rule of law and to democracy. Because, like I said, the provisions we have in the Constitution before the judgment of the Supreme Court were just enough for the local government to be autonomous. Because Section 7 is clear that local government shall be by democracy. Why were governors not align the conduct of election? Section 62 is going to declare that the federation revenue shall be shared into 3 tiers of government. Why should the governor be interested in the fund of the local government? So you need a conscientious, a democratic, a patriotic governor, in addition to a free and really have the real objective to achieve that objective of autonomy of local government. And interestingly, you may know that in my campaign manifesto, the major focus of my campaign was this autonomy of local government before the judgment of the court, because in 2001, as chairman of AGWA in Edo State, as national vice president, we've taken this case to the Supreme Court before this time, up to the Supreme Court, telling the governors that, look, the constitution did not give the council money to you. The local government is not an appendage of the state government. All these issues were canvassed in the Supreme Court with our respected late Ganifa Oemi, although they talked otherwise at that time. So because the importance of autonomy of local government, how it can bring about development to my people in Edo State and to Nigeria. Autonomy of local government was my major focus in my campaign manifesto. So to put it in summary, that 2 steps are required. 1, credible local government election, and a conscientious governor that is patriotic, that will understand that the government is just that institution that will promote democracy. And when you have democracy, you will have rule of law. When you have rule of law, everybody will be a winner. Everybody will be a gainer. So without these 2 factors being put in place, it will still be a far journey for us to really realize this foundation is required for democracy and sustainability.
All right, you started your campaigns, but and then you are hoping to be in the chair of the governors. Hopefully, you would still maintain this same philosophy at that time. But let's go, to interrogate a few of the concepts you are espousing. Now, there is a valley of death between campaign promises and actualities. You have worked also as chief of staff to a governor, if I recall, in Edo State as well. Why is there always a gap between when you are on the podium promising El Dorado and when you get there and it seems as if the reality is better than some of the fantasies that they sell on the podium?
That is why we are teaching the people. The job of a political party is not just to win an election. It's only political education. That's why we are campaigning and teaching the people that when people come to you to ask for vote, please, it's not about the party, it's not about the jamboree, it's not about the songs. It's not about the number of jeeps or number of buses that come to the campaign rally. Look at the character of the person that is talking to you. Look at the antecedent of the person. If a responsible gentleman comes to you to ask and make promises, he is going to keep the promises. Like rightly mentioned, I was chief of staff to Professor Osumbo just for 1.5 years. Professor Osumbo's achievement, he said the best in Edo State since 1999. Because I'm in Ghana now. So Osumbo under 1 year rehabilitated the worst road in the Akukwedo local government area, Lakpese Ososo Road. And the people, when I was speaking to the Royal Highness, the Otaro of Igara, they all agreed that Osumbo government was such a wonderful government in just less than 2 years, because they had a gentleman who made promises and kept these promises. I want to use this video again to appeal to the electorate. Don't look at the jeep, don't look at the bank account, don't look at the songs and the jamboree. Examine the character of the candidate, of the aspirant that is coming to you. Like I said this afternoon in the palace of the Usara of Igara, I come with my credentials on the table. When I'm the first council chairman to reject an official car that was given to me in 1999 because I felt that was not the priority of the people.
I was the first council chairman to live in the headquarters of my local government. I was the first council chairman and the only chairman that established farms for my local government. As we speak, we have 18 local government areas in Edo State. My local government, in one of the local government, is the only council that has a farm owned by government. I was the first chairman and the only chairman that paid bursary with 3 million naira allocation. I paid bursary to Nwode indigenous in tertiary institution. My governor, Professor Sumpo, in 1.5 years, paid bursary to Edo indigenous in higher institution. As chairman of council, I sponsored the use of my local government to Norway on an international football competition. The trophy is still in government house. So you cannot have credentials based on the artisan of person and lay gloves over it. I'll be looking at somebody who's just promising you that I'll give you money. Or somebody who's just coming to the politics, you've not voted once, you don't even know your community. You want to be a governor in an area that you don't even know. So it is credential, it is antecedent versus rhetoric. So if you are careful and you are vigilant, you examine the character of the candidates, you can't get it wrong. You will elect a man who will do what he says during the election campaign. And that is what I stand for. I am a university teacher, like I tell my students. I don't teach because of the salary. I teach for the job and to develop the future leaders of this country. I'm not in politics to be called governor or a title seeker. I'm in politics for public service. My record speaks volume of what I can do. This is a garage. This is alcohol with so many stores.
Let's come back a little bit. Would you retain the fellowship you've had with the people, after elections, and a lot of people have said this, we have a lot of people from those that with a lot of, very colorful and, inspiring words and all that. Then when they are given an opportunity, they hide behind the tinted windows of the convoys of their jeeps.
Say, you can't.
We're losing you, Doctor, but hopefully we'll get back to you. But let's just quickly see if we can take one. We have been talking about the local government autonomy. If we get Doctor back, we'll continue the discussion. But the Inter-Party Advisory Council has commended the Supreme Court's landmark judgment granting financial autonomy to local governments. IPAC Chairman Yusuf Maman Dantale, at a General Assembly meeting of the Council in Abuja, described it as a masterstroke that has broken the grip of state governors on council funds.
With this historic judgment, Nigerians expect rapid development of local government areas.
National Chairman of IPAC, Yusuf Maman Dantale, expressed his appreciation for the judgment, emphasizing that it represents a significant victory for democracy and development in Nigeria. IPAC is urging the EFCC to monitor the funds released.
All right, Dr. Osifu is back with us from Igara, Edo North, in Edo State, ahead of the governorship elections over there. You were, sharing with us that you won't be hiding, behind tinted windows. But when we talk of, what is, available in your state now, what would be the low-hanging fruits in terms of immediate intervention? You've been council chairman for
the immediate interventions are in twofold. There are the ones that we can do without you don't even require revenue. For instance, the state should have rule of law. I don't contemplate the law. The government should be accountable to the people. You don't need money to be accountable to the citizen. For instance, when I was chairman of council, they were aware of the allocations that come to local government every month. Go announce what they get as allocation every month. It's not a personal money. For goodness sake, accountability starts with transparency. Transparent, you cannot be accountable. So our government will be accountable. They will know the revenue allocation that comes from Abuja on a monthly basis. And at the end of the year, we will give a statement of income and expenditure. We will pass a law for the House of Assembly to make it mandatory for the local government to do income and expenditure profile at every quarter of the year. That is accountability. Then the judiciary, well, we are last celebrating of local government. You can't have a democracy without an autonomous judicial arm of government. That will be fully of the other two arms of government. And the autonomies of the it's not people lose.
Dr. Osifu, I'm afraid we can't continue with the conversation. Time is not our friend at the same time, and it seems as if the connection is not doing too well in Igara there. We hopefully in subsequent programs we'll bring you back. Now, a meeting headed by the National Chairman of APC, Dr. Umar Ganduje, has appealed to for presidential assent to the Southeast Commission bill to further accelerate the renewed hope agenda in the region. This was at the Southeast Zonal meeting of the party in Abakaliki.
Having deduced that the All Progressive Congress, APC, offers the most viable pathway of attaining inclusive governance, development, and addressing concerns of marginalization of the Southeast, key players in the zone, in tandem with the national leadership of the party, initiated the discourse to unveil the encapsulated solutions to the needs of people of Igbo extraction in the Renewed Hope agenda, which include the Southeast Development Commission bill, already passed and awaiting presidential assent.
The only way we can break this vicious cycle is by determination, is by unity of all the stakeholders, of all the elites, political elites, economic elites, traditional elites.
The meeting, leaders of the zone say, has armed Party Faithful with the wherewithal to engage opposition parties in the Southeast to collapse their political structure into APC, as evidenced by the entrance of former Senate President Anyim Pius Anyim and members of the opposition parties in Ebonyi State, all geared towards national integration and advancement.
The beauty of this program, first, is that the national leadership of the party has acknowledged that we are being marginalized. The second beauty is that they are taking it upon them not to marginalize us. And pray that God will touch our consciences to believe in the collective interest of our region and to believe in the leadership and unity of Nigeria. Our party is more than a political party. APC is a movement for actualizing the wishes of the people.
That concludes political updates for today. We were to have a second conversation with Senator representing Borno North, but we will bring that back. We will bring him back hopefully at the end of the way. That's on Friday. Between now and then, please play your politics for the greater good and keep it locked on Africa's finest and largest, the Nigerian Television Authority, for news, reviews, previews, and interviews. Bye-bye now.
Pangolins are facing a crisis. They are the most trafficked mammals in the world. Over 1 million have been sold illegally since 2000. Pangolins may disappear forever if we don't protect them now. Say no to illegal pangolin trade and report wildlife crime. Keep them wild and keep us safe.